Hey guys, what classic movie or show would you like to see remade?
Oh,
Who
me
wants to go
personally,
first? Yeah.
I'd love to see Buckaroo Banzai. It's been in the planning stages for so long, and it could be done a with the that 80s style that they did the movie with, but with a new generation of Buckaroo Banzai characters, and then still have the old actors appear in the film. I would watch it tomorrow.
Cool.
Or,
Chris or Brian?
well, I was
Yeah,
going to
Brian,
ask,
you go
are we
ahead.
talking sci-fi only, or is this open to anything?
Well, we are the big sci-fi, so I kind of by default was thinking sci-fi, but if you want to,
then Chris should go first.
Sorry,
Okay.
is this movies
I need
too,
more
or
time
just
to think.
TV?
yeah, movie
Okay.
or show, movie or TV show.
Okay, then I guess I'd have to say 2001. I'd love to see what a modern 2001 would be like.
That they
Really?
did
Just because
2010.
So I feel like it wouldn't be actually that much different. They did such a good job, I think, of bringing in the real science and
Yeah, I can't
What-
think of anything else that I'd actually want to see remade. Like that's the closest to the like for movies, like because all the TV shows, like mostly Star Trek, which is already like they're not remaking it, but they're coming up with
Mhm.
modern ones. But 2001 is the only one I can think of that
Mm.
I'd be curious to see what would a modern day 2001 look like, or would it just be, as you say, be pretty much like the classic?
I think it
Right.
would.
It
Well,
has to be.
I've got one, I think.
Okay.
I would like to see Sequest DSV redone
my
for
God.
modern TV.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I
I've seen
loved
bits and
it.
pieces
It,
of it.
it was only a few seasons,
Mm-hmm.
but it was really cool until they started going all Grey's Anatomy and having relationships and everybody falling in love, and it became more of a soap opera under the sea. But it was very futuristic. It was whole new colonies, the exploring the oceans and stuff. It was kind of in a way Star
Mhm.
Trek under the ocean.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I've heard. I've heard people describe it as like a Star Trek
Yeah.
underwater, which is pretty
I'll
cool.
watch Star
Like,
Trek
I-
Underwater.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, it
that's
had
something like that.
had good actors in it too, well-known actors, and then it had young actors at the time who have since gone on to do other things of note. But it was a very interesting show. It had a lot of promise. It was very disappointing when it only lasted a few seasons. It just didn't really take on.
Did that have Roy Scheider in it?
Yes, it did.
That's
Yep.
what I thought.
Oh.
I remember watching that. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
That's the
Yeah.
guy from 2010, right?
Yeah.
That actor.
Yep.
Okay.
In Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
I
was in
should probably
Jaws.
watch Jaws. I've just stayed away from that. So like, it
Oh, it's
sounds
not
scary,
that. It's not that
but
scary.
it's not scary.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if one of the sci-fi sitcoms might do well remade. Like I'm thinking Mork and Mindy or Alf. And one of the interesting things is, just because it was just daily life at the time, and
Mhm.
daily life for us is so different. Those shows were
Right.
done before we had computers, before we had the internet. And
Mhm.
I think it would still just be more of the same, just with modern tools. But-
Hmm.
So it might not be that interesting or that exciting, but
And
I'm more
You-
curious, like,
You'd have to
Oh,
find
sorry.
another Robin Williams.
well,
and that's
yeah, you're not going
very
to find
hard
another
to
Robin
find.
Williams.
Yeah, and the guys who wrote Alf were right out of Jim Henson's genius department, so
Mhm.
that's also hard to replace.
Right.
did anyone else know about Elf in the show, or is it just like the family? Like, did they ever have to keep his? I haven't seen much of it, so it's like, did they ever have to keep his identity? Like, we can't tell people we have an alien.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
that
whole
was
basis
Kind of
it.
the, yeah.
Okay, because I feel like it would be interesting to take the modern take in the way that Picard was like, hey, how do we deal with the fact that we can't just transport now because people have phones? So that could be a fun twist with social media. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, trying to get Alf, Alf has to avoid being spied on, and if they're
Yeah.
living in a
Yeah,
house
and-
with like little nanny cams and stuff, like he's got to deal with that. I think that there could be something there, and there could be,
Yeah.
a lot of comedy, right, with that.
with the right writing and the right people. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Well, so since we've still got a couple minutes, I'm going to ask the question then, was there something, Brian, that was not sci-fi that you were thinking of?
Yes. And I don't think there's ever been a remake. There is a sci-fi connection in this film because of an actor, and we'll see who picks up on it first. but I would love to see a modern remake of the film Bridge on the River Kwai.
Oh, George Takei. Takei.
Oh, right.
Sorry.
George
Okay.
Takei and Alec Guinness.
Oh, I forgot. Okay.
Oh,
Played
okay.
the original Obi-Wan. So I don't think there's been a remake of this film, at least not by
I don't
name.
think so.
Maybe there's
No.
been a
Wasn't-
similar film with a little bit of the same premise, but nothing named Bridge on the River Kwai.
But wasn't Bridge on the River Kwai the one that they starred in? That was a remake of an older. Wasn't that a remake of an older
I
version
don't
of it?
know.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. And
Why
if
do I
you
have
go
this
to
image?
Thailand, you can see where they actually shot all the sequences for that film.
Interesting.
Yeah,
And
a friend of mine, co-worker, he did see that where they have the bridge and everything.
Oh, cool. Now was George Takei in that?
Mhm.
He was.
Really?
Yeah,
He was-
I think the reason I know that and I think about that so like boom is I think it was a convention that I saw him at when I first started going to conventions when I was a teenager. And at the time I was fascinated with the concept of seeing actors that I only know from Star Trek and just even thinking about them doing something else or having been in
Mhm.
other things. And so when I heard about that, that just somehow stuck with me. Now I've never seen it.
Yeah, I'm just.
You've never seen
I,
a movie?
I've
I-
never seen Bridge on the
Oh
River
my
Kwai.
God.
I have. I think I'm in the same boat where I know.
I'm
I was
looking up
watching it.
the cast.
I don't remember what happened.
How do I have this memory of him in it? And
Are you sure there's another very famous film he was in with John Wayne called The Green Berets?
Oh,
No,
no, he
I-
was in the Green Berets.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No?
Why do I have this memory? And now you're I'm, like, not seeing it.
Maybe he was. There is a very famous Sesu Hayakawa played.
And he was the Japanese, the leader of the prisoner
Yeah.
of war camp.
uh-huh. Of course, William Holden.
Mhm.
Jack Hawkins, fantastic actor. He was in another one of my favorite films called Lawrence of Arabia. Okay. Interesting.
I'm
okay.
sorry.
I'm moving right along. Okay.
Okay.
Very interesting. I won't bring that up again.
It's
But
all right.
yeah,
That's
anyways, well, that's
significant.
interesting. Now, Adeena, you made me want to dig to see
Okay.
if the guy was in that
Yeah,
film.
we're gonna have
Here-
to.
here's the no, he was not in that. So it's real. Your memory is such a funny thing because I feel like
Yeah.
I've had this memory for
Huh.
30 years. No,
Well,
Return
somebody
from
may
the
have given
River
you
Kwai.
some
And this might
bad
be why
information.
I thought there was a remake.
Yeah.
It's not Bridge on the River Kwai.
interesting.
There was Return from the River Kwai is a 1989 British film. The film also stars Star Trek's George Takei.
That must be
The
it.
film is based on a 1979 factual book with the same name about stuff. So okay, that must be
It's not
my
a sequel.
my-
Okay.
twisted memory.
And
So
there's
is
a
it a
sequel.
sequel or did it just have the similar name? But it's not like the sequel to the movie.
Here we go. The film carried a disclaimer that it was not related to or a sequel to the 1957 David
Mhm.
Lean film, The Bridge on the River Kwai. Nonetheless,
that's
due
gotta-
to legal disputes over the title with the U.S. owners of the 1957 film, Return from the River Kwai was never released theatrically in the USA or Canada. It's only
Huh. Fascinating.
Wow. Very
Okay.
interesting. Okay.
so my memory has been wrong for 30 years and
But
has
it's
now been
also
corrected.
kind of right as well. So give yourself
Right.
half points, okay?
At least,
Yeah.
yeah, half credit. Half credit.
Eh.
There you go. All right.
Okay.